Have you ever played Trip World for the Game Boy? I've never even heard of this game before, but the person I bought all the other games from on the internet managed to have one in his collection. Whether it's the blatantly fake cartridge or the fact that it only cost me about £2, I decided to take a gamble on it, and waiting a month for it to turn up in the post gave me some time to do a bit more research on it. Made by Sunsoft, famed for doing Batman and other classics like Blaster Master, it is a real fun game, albeit really short. Speedruns seem to be about 6.5 to 7 minutes, and even the first time I played it, it only took me about 12 minutes to actually complete it. But it is a real fun game, and quite a hidden gem. But rather than me talking about it, let me show you why. The story in Trip World is pretty simple. You play as Yakupu, a rabbit-like being with the ability to shapeshift into different transformations. One day, the Flower of Peace gets stolen by some evil creatures, and this sends the inhabitants of Trip World completely mad. It's up to you to traverse through 5 relatively short levels and regain the Flower of Peace. Yakupu's ability to transform is the main gimmick of the game. You can usually transform when you pick up an item, but you can also transform when you don't have one. If you press up and B, you can turn into a flying version of yourself, and down and B allows you to turn into a fish. The flying version of yourself is a great way to cheese most of the levels, but to be honest, not particularly too hard. You can pretty much just run right to left and get through them in a breeze anyway. But the fish you do need for level 3. You can't really get through the water stage without it, unless you want to go ridiculously slow. Other transformations include gaining a flower in your head that allows you to shoot seeds at other enemies and then they get a flower in their head and stop moving, turning into a ball which allows you to bounce really fast and really far, turning really small, which I haven't been able to figure out what's the point of that one, turning into a raccoon type thing that allows you to get an extended reach from your attack by shooting with your tail, and turning into what the speedrunning community has dubbed Goku, because when you press the B button to attack, you fire off a spirit bomb instead, which completely annihilates anything on the screen. Control wise, your character does move around really well. It does get a little bit irritating that in certain levels the actual weather effects do seem to hamper you, such as trying to move along this screen and the wind blowing you backwards. Try and fly and don't go fast enough, just get blown back, which just wastes more time. Jumping is really nice, but the short range on the kick is a little bit of an annoyance. However, if you do abuse some of the transformations, like I keep saying, you can pretty much just rinse this game. And once you get the hang of being able to transform in the air, transform on the land, use the ramps to gain a bit of speed, you can really breeze through it. But to be honest, half the time I'd rather not run through the level. Some of these enemies are absolutely hilarious to look at. I mean, you've got this giant cat. It doesn't really want to ever seem to do anything against me. I mean, it will actually kill you, but it doesn't really seem to aggro on you. Then you've got the other cat that seems to just mash its face into the floor going down the ramps. All it does is just fly in the air and never actually hurt you. A lot of these enemies are the same. They don't actually do any damage, and you can tell the ones that will do damage because they generally have some form of projectile, but the majority of them just seem to want to just prat around. The bosses are where the only challenge in this game comes in. The first boss is ridiculously easy, the second boss isn't too bad, the third boss is ridiculously cheap, the fourth boss you can one-shot if you have the Goku power-up, and the fifth boss is technically a 3-stage boss fight. The first two aren't an issue, the second one's probably the hardest in the game, and the third guy seems to go down in less hits than the last one. Overall, the game is really fun. Graphically, it does look really nice for a Game Boy game, and the whole design of the game is really awesome. I mean, this whole trip world that everything seems to be set in. Some of the enemies are absolutely stupid looking, and the backgrounds do seem to fit in with the level design and enemies at the same time. Musically, it's Sunsoft, so the game does sound amazing, albeit some of the sound effects do get a little bit grating after a while. So for £2.50, I don't think this was a bad deal. I mean, blatantly, obviously it's not a real game, but it is actually really fun. And it is a game that I'm going to keep playing to try and get better at. I mean, it only takes, like I say, about 10 to 15 minutes to complete, and you can cheese most of the levels by using transformations. One I'll definitely keep going back to. Well, I've still got a few more in here. Why don't we try Pokemon Chaos Black as the next one?